PhD student in genetics. And in our lab, we study how worms develop. And specifically, we're looking at how your cells stick together. So why does your skin stay as one big sheet of cells? Why doesn't it just fall apart?
That frightens me. To think
The idea
about
of it just falling apart?
what might happen. What are your hobbies outside the lab?
I picked up gardening this year, which has actually worked. In the past, I've always killed all of my plants, so this has been pretty exciting. I have quite a number of pets. I have a group of ferrets and a bird.
A group of ferrets?
I have 4 ferrets. So, a business is
A
what
business
a group of ferrets
ferrets.
is called.
Wow.
And if you see them, it's really clearly a business. They're always doing something. They're sort of defense mechanisms, sort of predators, but if there's something bigger comes along, they do this, what's called a war dance, that is just supposed to make them look rabid and sick and crazy, so no predator will want to eat them. And so that's pretty much all they do for 2 hours a day, is their crazy rabid war dance.
Is it directed at you or other ferrets?
Other ferrets.
So they just war dance at each other?
Yeah,
For
it's like lots of hopping. Yeah, when I got my first ferret, I actually thought we thought it was rabid. We didn't know anything about ferrets, and we were like, oh my god, we got a rabid ferret on our first try. She wasn't. She was just normal. You should always look up your pets and their behaviors before you buy one. I never had pets as a kid, so when I went to undergrad, I kind of went crazy.
So you said you didn't like science as growing up.
Yeah.
Why do you think that was?
It was very dry and difficult. I felt like it was taught purely for memorization. Like most of my biology I remember is from high school. I feel bad because you hear about all these kids who are like, yeah, I played with microscopes as a kid, and I always knew it was going to be science and stuff. I was like, no. Nobody ever showed me it could be cool until late in high school.
What is your research about?
In our lab, we study a tiny worm. It's called C. elegans. What we study specifically is how cells of the body stick together, and then also how they can fall apart. For instance, our skin, which is, we study the skin of a worm, can stick together, and it allows all of our stuff that's on the inside, all of our organs, our blood, everything stay inside. That's important for things like wound healing. So when your wounds are closing, those cells have to be able to form a new seal. And then another thing that we can study is then how those cells can fall apart and lose that stickiness. And cancer metastasis, so when you have cancer in one location and then it goes throughout the body and forms tumors elsewhere, that's an example where cells lose their stickiness to each other and can then move throughout the body.
What sort of books are you reading right now?
I tend to reread books over and over again that I love, specifically Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. I read that all the time. I'm also slogging through the Game of Thrones books, but there's like 8,000 pages, so there's only so much time.
Do your ferrets ever destroy your books?
They don't. The bird does, though. Ferrets aren't big chewers, which is nice. I had a bunny once chew through our cable cord like once a week. The bird has destroyed quite a few books, including Pride and Prejudice, which I'll try to get over.
So where were you born?
I was born in Prairie Village, Kansas, which is a suburb of Kansas City. So Kansas City is a pretty big city. There's 3 million people there, so I've been to a farm, which is sad. I feel like my life would be more completed if I like pet a cow. And tornadoes tend to break up new cities, so I've never seen a tornado. I have like none of the Kansas experiences. I get all the, you're not in Kansas anymore, call me Dorothy.
What did you do for fun as a kid?
I have one brother who's just 3 years older than me, so we did a lot of cops and robbers, make believe, that kind of stuff. Rescued nearby animals that were, like there was a moth that we saved once, and we like kept it as a pet, and then the neighbor kid came and killed it because she was a jerk. I've never forgiven her.
That sounds like a real tragic tale.
I know. Mothra. We named it Mothra.
That's Godzilla.
Godzilla, yeah.
Right? Yeah.
What was her name? Lee. Oh, she's a jerk.
So here's the deep question. Are you ready?
I know.
What advice do you wish you could give your childhood self?
I guess I wish that I had told myself that, when you're a kid, everybody asks, what do you want to be when you grow up? What do you want to be when you grow up? And you're like, you think you have to pick one thing. You're not stuck with that one thing. No matter what you choose, you don't have to stick with it, and you can also meld all of your interests together. I feel like I committed to psychology when I was very young when I decided I wanted to do that. It was elementary school. I wanted to be a psychologist. and like I couldn't let that go for a long time. Like once I committed at 12, it was like, well, this is it. I don't know. What do you know when you're 12? Like, you're not a person yet, really. I mean, I shouldn't say that. But don't show this to anybody.
Yeah.
But
Technically, you're a person.
but you're still figuring out who you are, and you will until you're dead. So.
Bethany, thanks so much for spending your time with us.
And rambling with you. You're welcome.